Hi everybody, my name is Angela Cleary. I'm a feminine empowerment coach and I specialise in healing after narcissistic abuse. So today I wanted to come on, this is my first YouTube live, so I wanted to come on just to explain a little bit about myself for people who don't know me or don't know what I do. And I wanted to explain a little bit about how I was guided to become a feminine empowerment coach and how I was guided to use my experience to help other women and other people through my videos and through my voice and through my messages. So first of all, I'd like to say thank you to everyone who's supported me on my journey so far. Thank you so much for all of the support, the messages, the comments, everyone who's following my community and my channel, and everyone who has encouraged me to get to where I am now. So I'm going to explain a little bit about why I decided to, or why I was guided to become a life coach or a feminine empowerment coach, helping women to heal after narcissistic abuse. So I've had my fair share of narcissistic relationships. I used to attract narcissists in every area of my life, from friendships to family members, to romantic relationships, and even work relationships, bosses. I had to leave jobs because of certain bosses and their narcissistic tendencies. So, even back as far as when I was a teenager, like my first narcissist was a female friend when I was 15 or 16. And I didn't obviously know that. I only started learning about narcissism after I started to see the patterns. And I'll explain a little bit about the patterns I went through and how I saw how to break those patterns. So it might help anyone that's listening today, to relate to what I went through and hopefully break out of any cycles or toxic patterns or relationships that they're in or you're in. So like my major, like I had a few, narcissist friends before I reached about 20, but they were just friendships. And I didn't actually know at the time. I didn't even understand narcissism at the time. Actually, I didn't understand narcissism until well after I experienced it. But I ended up friends with a narcissist for about 3 years before we actually got together. And we ended up in about an 8-year toxic relationship. Now, when you're in a narcissistic relationship, it takes away every essence of who you are. It takes away every part of your being. You lose all sense of self. You lose all ambition. You lose your voice. You lose who you are completely, because the narcissist will control you. They will change you into something that they can use as a puppet. And I lost my voice so completely. My ex narcissist, right, of 8 years, the first long-term narcissistic relationship I was in, he was 17 years older than me and an alcoholic and very, very verbally abusive. He used to undermine everything I said. If we were in a group conversation and I spoke, he would speak over me or tell me my opinion didn't matter because I was too young. This led me to completely shut down, completely lose my voice, completely lose who I was. And it was only after we broke up and I started to come back to myself that I realized, oh my God, where have I been for the last 8 years? He turned me into a codependent, childlike version of myself. And I lost all sense of who I was. I lost all ambition. He guided me to stop, or he encouraged me to stop working. And so I didn't work. So I lost all sense of self, all sense of any ability I had. I lived on my own when I was 19 years of age. And he made me so codependent. I forgot that I could cook. I forgot that I could do DIY. I forgot how to use my brain. Like, I used to get so fearful around him, like walking on eggshells. If I buttered a slice of toast, I would ask him, did I do that okay? Did I do that okay? Because I was so fearful I lost all self-worth. So therefore, I just didn't, even the simple thing of buttering a slice of toast, I felt insecure about. That's how bad it got. And it actually took for a traumatic experience external to that relationship for me to go to therapy and be told that I was in a toxic relationship. I would have spent my life with that man and he was verbally abusing me all the time. And it was my soul, my essence, my whole sense of self was gone. It was completely gone. Now, I finally did get out of that relationship and I started to better myself. And very shortly after that, I got in another relationship with a misogynist who ended up getting violent with me. So I realized, okay, I have enough now. After that second relationship lasted 1.5 years. I was like, I'm done. I'm doing some healing. I'm getting my life back together. I'm going to stay single for a while. And that was fine. Did my healing. A couple of years later, I decided I'll get back on the horse. I'll start dating again. And I started seeing somebody, and I could see red flags from the start, but I wasn't listening because I still had those codependent tendencies. I still had something within me crying out to be loved. And I didn't even know what this was at that time. And all these red flags were coming at me. But within 2 months of that relationship, 2 months after knowing that person, the red flags turned into sirens. They got louder and louder and louder and louder and louder. And I just started recognizing stuff because I was after doing some research on narcissists, and I was like, this looks familiar. And with support of my friends at the time, I was like, I'm getting out of this before it's too late. So I quickly understood that that was a narcissistic relationship as well. And what was funny as well, just before I met that guy, I had to leave a job I loved because of a narcissistic boss. But I did not join any dots until after that 2-month relationship. And I was like, what the hell? This is a pattern. This is something that keeps happening. I thought I'd healed from those previous relationships. So why am I still attracting narcissistic people? And then I connected with my boss as well. I was like, they're everywhere. Everywhere. I was attracting narcissists everywhere. And even a friend of mine that I was working with and that I used to party with, he was a narcissist as well. And this started opening my eyes to that as well. And I was like, whoa, what is going on here? I saw a pattern. I realized that I must, like, if I thought I'd healed. I was like, I healed. Why am I still attracting narcissists? I saw that it was me. There was something within me that wasn't healed. And that's when I discovered inner child healing. And that was it. Like my inner child was crying out to be loved. Like, we don't understand that we have a wounded inner child within us. It doesn't matter whether you came from what you think of as a loving family or whether you come from a traumatic childhood. There is an inner child within you that's crying out for validation and to be loved. And because of this, and because I'm an empath as well, this is why I attracted narcissists. My lack of self-worth attracted narcissists. When also as well, because of my lack of self-worth, I didn't feel worthy of love. So I felt like shit, so I attracted shit. I thought I was only worthy of abusive love. I thought the only thing that was there was abusive love. I thought that was the norm. I grew up with that model of love. It's not love. I grew up with that model of toxicity within relationships. But this is all unconscious. I spent 31 years of my life unconsciously making decisions and making relationship mistakes because of an unhealed, wounded inner child. And I didn't know this. Like, for 31 years, I didn't care that my mother had abandoned me. I just felt, look, I don't know what it's like to have a mother. You shouldn't, if you don't know something, why would you miss it? But unconsciously, my inner child had blamed herself, and this is why she attracted narcissistic partners. This is when I decided, no more am I going to date until I've healed these wounds and I've reparented my inner child. And that is the secret. We reparent, love, nurture, and care for our inner child the way she always deserves to be loved. And therefore, that will lead us to loving ourselves. Now, I've been on a long journey of inner healing. I've chosen to be single for a very, very long time to do that inner work, to do that inner healing, to reparent and love my inner child. And now I can safely say that I do love myself, and I do feel worthy of a high vibrational love now. But this led me on a path of self-discovery. And on that path, I was guided along the way I was guided into coaching, but also because before I actually became a professional feminine empowerment coach, I used to help friends, girls that I'd meet. And I tell you a couple of my success stories, because, these are the stories that fill my heart with such joy. They made me realize my passion for helping other women that had suffered like I have, because these women that I helped were in the same boat as me. And one of my dear friends now, I met her back in 2020, I think it was. And our first phone call, she was literally just out of a narcissistic relationship. But everything she said on the phone to me, she sounded like me. like, she's like my clone. I'm telling you, she's definitely my soul sister anyway. But like on the phone, I was like, I have to help this girl. She's going through the exact same thing I did. And over the last 4 years now, we've become very close, and we've helped each other actually on our journeys. But like I've seen her grow, because this is the thing with coaching. I don't do the work, but my clients do. I guide them, I help them, I give them the tools. But it's their inner work that's so important. And with her inner work, this is 4 years after I met her. Tomorrow, she's going to be having her first baby with her divine counterpart. So to meet her when she was at her worst and just out of a narcissistic relationship, and to help her through her struggles, and to see her life bloom, and her self-worth and her confidence grow, and for her to finally find her happy ever after. This is what guided me, or encouraged me to know that this was the path for me. Because the joy I feel, the joy I felt or feel anyway, every day time I speak to her, the joy I feel watching her life grow is just beautiful, and it's magical. And if I can do that doing that for one person is amazing. But if I can do that on a wider scale, this is why I was encouraged to do, or guided to become, a feminine empowerment coach. There's another girl I met, we're friends now as well, and when I met her a couple of years ago, she was actually still in a narcissistic relationship, and with my help and her growth as well, she is well out of that relationship over a year now, and she's actually been in contact with her divine counterpart. So this makes me so proud, and so it makes me believe that I have the capabilities to help other women like this. Like, I lost all of my femininity and all of who I was back when I was codependent on men, or codependent on needing to be in a relationship, when I sought outside myself for validation. This made me feel very disempowered. And with my growth, and with my inner healing, and with the inner child work, and all of the work that I've done over the last few years, and with the progress I've helped with my clients in the last few years as well, I have become a divine, feminine, empowered woman now. And I really want nothing more than to help other women to become independent and empowered instead of codependent. I want women to find their voice again, like I did. Like before, like another thing actually, I've been on this journey of healing for the last few years, and I've been on a spiritual awakening journey as well. But I relapsed because I had to go through a lot of turbulence over the last few years. I had to walk away from a lot of toxic friends and a lot of toxic family members. And even last year, a year ago, I made the hardest decision of my life to walk away from my dad, who had narcissistic tendencies and was an energy vampire. And he actually depleted me more than my 8-year toxic narcissistic relationship. So in the last year, I've done all the healing I did before, but really intensely in a shorter space of time. So I watched my growth over the last year, and I know now exactly what I need to do to help others to grow as well. And I was guided to coaching through mentors and stuff like that as well, through the universe. So this is my passion. This is my goal, to help any other women that have been suffering as I have, to help them find themselves again, to help them rediscover who they truly are, to help them become independent, not codependent, but to help them find self-love through inner child healing, and through self-discovery and through growth. So, this is why I'm on this journey. This is why I've been guided. This is why being a feminine empowerment coach and helping other women is my life mission. It is my life purpose, and it fills me with such joy to even help one or two people. And the way I'm sharing the content online as well, I work one-on-one with only women, because this is my experience, and I think I have a better result and a better outcome helping women in that way. But with my videos, I believe that I'm helping any genders, all genders, because it's not just us women that go through narcissistic abuse. Of course it's not. There's an awful lot of female narcissists out there as well. I've experienced that as well. Some friends have turned narcissistic on me. My first ever narc was a a friend in school, a female friend. So, you know, it goes both ways. So if I can help everyone through my videos, this is what I want. And this is why I'm sharing this content. I want to share my story. I don't share my story to get pity. I don't want anyone to feel sorry for me. I've grown and I'm stronger now. I share my story to help that person who feels lost, like I did, to help that person who feels disempowered, like I did, who has lost their voice and their independence and their whole essence, really, the whole of who they are, because that's what narcissistic abuse does to you. It makes you lose every sense of yourself. It sucks every bit of life force energy out of you, and it just depletes your true self and your true being. So it is my deepest passion, my deepest desire to help as many people as I possibly can and to empower as many women as I possibly can. Because being in those toxic relationships and growing up in a toxic masculine household as well, I had a very imbalanced, we all have masculine and feminine energy. And my masculine energy was toxic. I had toxic masculine traits, and I was suppressing my feminine side. And it's only really since I walked away from my dad that I actually have rediscovered my femininity and rediscovered the toxic masculine patterns that I actually embodied. The inner misogyny I embodied, you know, misogyny towards myself, but misogyny towards other women. And that's not nice. Like, that's why I decided to become a feminine empowerment coach, because I have finally found my feminine empowerment. I found the feminine goddess within myself, and I want other women to be able to find that power within themselves as well, because it's so beautiful when you get there. It's so beautiful when you actually find your true divine essence. And this is why I'm here. This is why I want to share my story, why I want to use my experience to help anyone suffering like I did. So if you think that you have suffered narcissistic abuse in the past, or if you're actually currently going through any kind of narcissistic relationship, reach out, invest in yourself, and come work with me. Come on a journey of self-discovery with me. Let me help you find the inner goddess within you. Let me help you find your empowerment again. Let me help you find your independence after years of being codependent. Let me help you find that love within yourself so that you can actually feel validated within yourself instead of looking outside of yourself for external validation. And when you do embody this energy, when you actually finally come to a high vibrational, divine feminine empowerment energy, you will attract such loving, high vibrational, soul level connections into your life. You really will. You will bring magic into your life in so many ways, and it will blow your mind how rewarding it is when you make all those choices to do that inner healing and to do that inner work, and the commitment you take to do that for yourself. Like, if you saw me a few years ago, my health was deteriorating. I had rashes on my face. I was unhealthy. I was drinking, smoking. I was taking drugs. You know, I wasn't in a good mind and body state. I wasn't. And now I've walked away from all that toxicity, and I have just put that care into myself, and I've nurtured myself and my inner child for the last year after my relapse. And like, I am glowing now. I know I am. I feel so much healthier. I feel so much happier. And I'm so much more optimistic again for life and what life has to offer. So, you know, this is why looking after yourself, investing in yourself, going on that journey of inner healing and self-discovery is so important. Choose yourself. Like, we're a nation of people pleasers. We really are. And especially when we've suffered narcissistic abuse, our wounded inner child is crying out to be loved, but it also cries out to be there for others, to the detriment of our own health. And that's the problem. Like, we care too much about looking after other people that we don't look after ourselves, and we end up depleting because of that. So choose yourself. choose yourself so that when we go through these experiences, we're not going through them for no reason. We're going through them because we can then use our strength and our resilience and our experience to then help other people that have gone through it. I believe that anyone that's going through severe trauma on this planet or has gone through it in their childhood is here for a higher purpose. We really are. We didn't go through it because of bad luck. We chose this life for ourselves so that we could use this experience to guide others in humanity and help others on their path. And that's why I'm here. I know now that my experiences happened for me, not to me. And it's a hard way to say it, but I'm actually grateful for that, because I would not be the person I am today if it wasn't for those experiences. And I wouldn't be able to sit here and actually help others like you if I wasn't after experiencing all that. My life wouldn't be the same. And we tend to feel sorry for ourselves or feel like we would go through such bad luck or trauma because of the trauma. But at the end of the day, we're here to help others. And that's something I've always felt passionate about, is helping other people. And now I know that my experience is so that I can help other people like you. And I really hope that you choose yourself. And I really hope that you choose love, inner love, and choose to reparent your inner child. And don't seek out, when we heal our inner child, when we heal ourselves, we won't need to seek outside ourselves for external validation. We will embody such powerful self-love that we won't need to seek outside ourselves for a relationship. And that's the beauty of it. When we grow so high, it will actually vibrate in that love for you when you are ready. So this journey is so, so worth it. The quote, "The walk to the mountaintop is hard, but the view from the top is beautiful." And it really is. It really is. And I know myself, I'm growing every day. I am consciously healing every day. I address my triggers every single day. And I know that I'm growing. I'm a different person every day. I am so much more powerful than I was yesterday, or I was last week, a month ago, 6 months ago. I am embodying a new higher vibration energy every single day, and I am still growing, and I'm still at the beginning, but it gets better and better. It gets brighter and brighter, and it gets so much more beautiful than it ever was. And it is hard to do that inner healing, but it's also harder not to do it, because I know now I can't go back to that ever again. I will never neglect myself again, because I've gotten to the worst, and I've been down to that. I've been to the deepest, darkest depths of hell more than once, and I will not go back to that. I'll keep growing higher and higher, and I will keep guiding as many people as I possibly can. So I'm going to keep this nice and short today, but I will hopefully get on for a live at least once a week. And I hope this resonates for you, and I hope this helps. And if it does, please book me for a discovery call today, and I would love nothing more than to help you on your journey. And please like and share this and subscribe to my channel, because the more likes and interaction I get, the more my videos will reach a wider audience. So thank you so much for listening today, and choose yourself. Please make that decision to invest in yourself. Make that decision to choose love and not toxicity. Change those toxic patterns, change those relational patterns, change them by looking within yourself and figuring out your core wounds so that you can embody a higher vibrational energy, and you can embody a divine feminine empowerment like you've never known before. So thank you again, and we'll see you. Bye-bye.